So in a previous video, we looked at solving quadratics by factoring, okay? And so that method is pretty quick. You have to just factor your quadratics. So we're going to look at another method, and this method is called completing the square. And you can really do it more than we're going to use it. But it's really easy to use if you have an equation that looks like this, where it's x squared plus something x, and then you may have another number. But the key is that whatever's in front of x needs to be an even number. That's when this is going to be really easy. So what we're going to do is we're going to look back at what I mean by a square. So on this screen you'll see two different squares, okay? And so when I say square, I literally mean the shape of square and also mean a second power. So if you have an x plus 2 squared, here's the visual image of that. You have an x squared, you have, instead of 2 x's, you actually have 4 x's, and then you have 4 of these little ones. So that's x squared plus 4x plus 4. This is a perfect square. Over here we have another example, x plus 3 squared. That creates x squared plus 6x plus 9. So you should notice right here that 6x, half of that 6 is 3. Okay, and that's because you take half of your x's and put them on each side of the square. Okay, so that's what we're going to start doing. So here's our first example, completing the square. And we're going to do a lot of this mentally instead of writing out all the work. So you look here, and you take half of that number. Okay, half of 6 is 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a perfect square. Alright, so this is becoming this right here. Alright, I'm going to keep the plus 3 over here, but there's one thing I have to do. Because 3 squared is not in the original problem, I need to put it over here on the other side. So 3 squared would be 9. Alright, so from here, all you have to do is move this off of that side by using either addition or subtraction, which would give us x plus 3 squared equals 6. From here, we take the square root of both sides, which gives us x plus 3 equals either the positive or the negative square root of 6. Alright, and we have one final step. To get x by itself, I need to subtract 3 from both sides. So this gives us our final answer, which is our x value is equal to a negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 6. And this is our final answer. It's not a pretty answer, but it is a quick way to get to an answer. Alright, so we can try another one. The same thing is going to be done. You're going to look in your middle term and you see a negative 8. So what you're going to do is you're going to split that in half. Half of negative 8 is negative 4. So we're going to write, this is a perfect square. Alright, that was this stuff. So I'm going to bring down the negative 3. And over here, I have to do this 4 squared part, which is 16. Okay, so to work this out, to get rid of a minus 3, I need to add 3 to both sides, which would give me 19. So I'm going to bring all this stuff down. X minus 4 squared equals 19. The next step, get rid of the square. That's by taking a square root. So x minus 4 equals either the positive or negative square root of 19. Alright, I got one step left. I need to get rid of a minus 4. So that's by adding 4. So my final answer is x equals a positive 4 plus or minus square root 19. Okay, and that's it.